Hey, welcome everyone. This is Guy Gambit, the Social Tactician. In today's video, we're going to go over the X's and O's of verbal cold approach. Specifically, I'm going to talk about approach rules that are based off of the size and composition of the group, or what we would call a set, that you're going to actually socially interact with when you do the cold approach. After we've covered that, you'll have a basic template showing you what to do. Then I'm going to go beyond and talk about how to do it, or how to do it well. And in order to talk about how to do it, we have to talk about social calibration. Social calibration is doing the right thing in the right way and at the right time so that everything just flows. All of your behaviors look perfectly natural during the cold approach. In order to do that, I've come up with an acronym to help you remember the 4 variables that are at play. UGES, UGES. Remember that acronym and we'll cover it at the end. When we look at the chart, the triangle is going to represent you, the X represents the girl, and once we depict the guys on the diagram, they'll be represented with an O. So for any verbal cold approach, there's 2 main methods or styles that we can use, indirect or direct. Indirect verbal cold approach shows minimal interest in the girl in the beginning, whereas a direct cold approach shows immediate man-to-woman interest straight from the start. To make sure we're both on the same sheet of music, let me give you some examples of openers from an indirect cold approach. Hey, do you know the Wi-Fi password here? Wow, what do you have to do to get a seat at this mall? Tonight is the night. I wish someone would video this. It's going to be epic. Hey, we were just talking and kind of want a Miami girl's perspective. Would you date someone that's still friends with their ex? You'll notice that on all these indirect cold approach openers, there are no compliments. For more examples, you can go to attractionunleashed.com, ran by the world famous mystery creator of the mystery method, and his equally amazing wingman Baxter, and get their Hey Guys ebook of 60 plus openers for about $20, or you can check out Game Global, ran by Ice White on YouTube, for his mega list of openers that's free. We talked about indirect cold approach. Now for your direct cold approach, what is one example of an opener? Hey, I know this is completely random, but I noticed you from over there and you seem so interesting. I just had to come say hi. Give strong eye contact, smile, and a warm handshake. My name is Guy. What I noticed about you was that you look like what's her name from the Matrix movies. Are you actually dark and edgy, or did you just steal your roommate's clothes? Basically, this is the London day game model by Tom Torero. For more examples on a direct cold approach, look for Tom Torero's Beginner's Guide to Day Game on Amazon, or on YouTube, do a search for Todd Valentine's opening series. Or you can also find James Marshall on YouTube at The Natural Lifestyle. Looking at our diagram, you'll notice that there's one X. We call that a one set, a lone girl. So, for our verbal cold approach, can we do an indirect method where we show minimal interest off the open? Sure. Can we do a direct approach where we immediately show an intent, a man-to-woman intent that we like her or are interested in her? Sure. Either one can go if it's a one set. Okay, simple enough. Let's make it a little more complicated. We got a 2 set now. In any group, you need to choose one of the 2 girls that's more attractive to you and say, okay, this is the one I'm most interested in. Can we do an indirect cold approach? Sure. Can we do a direct? No, we can't. Anytime there's more than one person, we don't go direct. We go indirect for anything that's a group. Now, which girl do we open? The one we're interested in or the one that we're not? The one that we're least interested in. Using the verbiage that they have in the mystery method, you would say we would open the obstacle. whereas the girl we're interested in is referred to as the target. These are terms kind of like from Top Gun. Okay, we've done a 2 set, a 1 set. We know that we're not going to do any more direct approaches for anything above a 1 set, so let's try a 3 set. We've got 3 girls. We know it's going to be indirect. Who do we open? Well, as long as it's not the one we're interested in, we can open either of the other 2 girls, either of the other 2 obstacles. Okay, let's go back for a sec. Let's go back to a 2 set, but now we're going to have a man and a woman. Okay. Can we open them? No. If it's just a man and a woman, you don't open a 2 set. They're probably a couple. It's not worth your time and effort. But going back to the 3 set, right? We've got a 3 set, 2 girls and a guy. Can we open them? Sure. We can do an indirect cold approach. But who do we open? Let's say you're interested in this girl. Who do we open? Well, if there's a man in the group, you always open the man. Okay? That way you run your indirect cold approach opener just as you would normally. And then you can transition to the girls by saying, hey, introduce me to your friends a few minutes into the conversation. Or, hey, how do you guys know each other? But always open the man if there's a man in the group. Okay, that all seems easy enough. Now let's make it even bigger. Let's say a 7 set. Right? We've got girls. We've got guys. 7. Okay, and let's say you're interested in this girl. We know it's going to be an indirect cold approach. Who do we open? Either of the 2 men. Right? This same method can continue on up from 7 until we get to 100 plus. Doesn't matter. If there's a man in the group, you always open the man. Direct approaches are only for 1 sets, lone girls. Otherwise, it's always an indirect verbal cold approach for a group. Let me show you how this works in reality. Okay? We've gone over the diagram, but I want to show you how it actually plays out in the field, and then we're going to talk about social calibration. So, there's going to be you, right? Then you've got groups over here. You've got 3 guys over there. You've got a lone girl here. You've got 3 girls here. Maybe 2, a couple. And then you've got 2 girls here. Now it's, well, who do I open? Okay. The man and the woman standing by themselves, we're not going to open them. Your options are, you could open this man. Here you've got a group of 3 guys, so no, you're not going to get in that group unless you had to, just to be in set if there was nothing better. You could go over and open these 2 girls. You would open whichever one is the obstacle. You leave the lone girl by herself for later. And then over here you've got another group of like 3 girls. If you're interested in this one, then you would open either this girl or this girl. That's how this plays out in the actual field of reality when you're out doing the social interaction. Now remember, I said I was going to talk about UGES. This is where it comes into play. I've shown you what to do from 1 sets all the way up to groups of 100 people all standing around. So UGES is basically you, then you've got the girl, then you've got the environment, and last but not least, you've got the situation. The interplay of these 4 variables, you, the girl, the environment, and the situation, is going to determine your social calibration. Okay? Social calibration depends on the interplay of these 4 variables. What I'm talking about with you is specifically what you look like and what you're doing. Are you walking? Are you jumping? Are you talking? Are you chewing gum and dancing around? Are you sitting down? Are you laying down? You need to consider that you fit in the environment and are being socially calibrated. If everyone's sitting, you should be sitting. If everyone's standing, you should be standing. You look like you belong and you fit into the environment. You're socially calibrated. Then what is the girl doing? You're not going to go cold approach her if she has her head in her hands and she's crying and two of her friends are on either side of her consoling her, right? That she's obviously doing something that is socially, it would be very uncalibrated to just approach her. Or same thing, if the girl was about to get on a metro or an MRT and she was just coming in as you were coming out, you wouldn't stop her and do a verbal cold approach because she's just trying to get onto the MRT. She's going to continue on. So you consider, what is the girl doing? Then the environment you're in. Is it loud? Is it dark? Is it highly active? Is it a library? Is it a swimming pool? You have to consider the environment itself. And finally, the situation. If in this group example, these are all coworkers and you know them all, then your game should look different and feel different than if they're all total strangers. In the same way, if this group is all inside a salsa club, you're going to do it differently to be socially calibrated for a high energy, loud environment versus if you're in a college campus in a library, then obviously you're going to really bring your energy level down. But the important takeaway here is that these 4 variables are going to determine your social calibration. Okay? The 4 variables. All right. We've talked about the basic template of how to do your verbal cold approach based off of the size and composition of the group. And then we talked about the 4 variables that you need to consider: you, the girl, the environment, and the situation. This is Guy Gambit, the social tactician. Now get out there and be social.